It isn't the MTV VMAs without a little bit of drama, and the latest saga is a video circulating showing Jack Antonoff putting something in his ears during the big medley. And the latest saga is a video circulating showing Jack Antonoff putting something in his ears during the big medley Katy Perry performance as she celebrated her legacy and accepted a very, very important award. But did he actually put AirPods in during the performance? Or is this just Twitter wildin'? Well, let's look at the evidence. As the context suggests from Twitter, despite the backlash and how it initially looks, Jack is not actually putting AirPods in at the VMAs, but more likely using earplugs to protect his hearing. Now, while Katy Perry is having a suitably flop of a year, and rightfully so, I doubt Jack would be putting them in and listening to something else at the VMAs, because that would just be ridiculous. Although he has shaded Katy Perry before, when he praises Taylor Swift and her songwriting, Jack referred to the music of Perry and Gaga as throwaway, comparatively, which, like, ouch, Gaga doesn't deserve that. But despite the fact that there seems to be a lot of online fury about AirPods gate, people have been quick to clock that Jack is trying to protect his hearing, considering it is literally his livelihood. He needs them in tip-top shape when producing to hear all the finer details. And you can kind of tell by the way he wiggles them into his ear that it's an earplug, it's not an AirPod. So all in all, a random Stan Twitter bit of drama where we need to really pay attention, folks. But the footage, I guess, does look eyebrow raising if you didn't know that most folks these days do like their earplugs at a concert. I know a lot of friends that have the loops, they wear them all the time. Concerts, conventions, you name it. Orlando Bloom was spotted looking deeply confused while Katy Perry danced somewhat suggestively during her 10-minute-long performance at the VMAs. The crowd of celebs cheered on Katy Perry during the medley of her mega hits last night. However, Orlando Bloom's reaction to his fiance's performance was a little more subdued, if you will. His reactions were at best confused and at worst extremely awkward. The climax of Katy's performance was when she and the rapper Doechii performed part of their new song, I'm His, He's Mine, which will be on her upcoming album. I think it's titled 143. Their performance was a little PG-13 to say the least. They twerked, acted as if they were about to kiss, and then flat out scissored. Nothing Miley Cyrus hasn't done before. So Orlando looked like he's cringing, and then as the camera zooms in on him, he starts smiling and clapping. Good save, pal. Later on, as the crowd was erupting when Katy was singing California Girls, and we get the camera cut to Orlando once again, he's not screaming, he's not crying, he's not throwing up. Instead, he's just nodding along with a very perplexed expression on his face, like he's never heard the iconic bop before. So he did appear to be more of a fan of the national anthem, that is I Kissed a Girl, which ballad. He performed the pinnacle of dad dancing by shuffling from side to side, clapping, mouthing the words, as one does. Now, folks on Twitter were deeply unimpressed by his lack of enthusiasm during his fiance's performance. One user wrote, Orlando Bloom is reacting to this performance as if he's never heard a single Katy Perry song before. What is going on? So I think it's safe to say that last night was a bad night to be Shawn Mendes. All three members of an insane love triangle were not only there, but all three members of this love triangle performed. As Sabrina Carpenter said herself, she knows she's been known to share, so sharing the stage with Shawn and Camila Cabello at the VMAs definitely meant a drama-filled evening was ahead. Here's a roundup of the most chaotic drama that ensued between the three of them. In a seemingly innocent Instagram caption, Shawn wrote, "Pulling up to my own funeral. Seems pretty suspicious given that we all knew he was heading to the VMAs, where both of his ex-girlfriends would be waiting for him. Telling Billboard before the show, I'm kind of having a funeral today just for everything that is negative, everything that doesn't serve me, death to the things that are negative, death to the people and the situations that try to bring you down." Looks like everybody knew they were into it. Also, I have genuinely no idea how this happened. Maybe all three of their stylists got together and decided to watch the world burn. So Sabrina stunned in a gorgeous white gown gifted to her by Madonna, and Camila looked very similar to her music video counterpart, Jenna Ortega, switching back to her natural dark hair and wearing all black. The two eerily echoed the Taste video a little too much for comfort. Also, in the video, Sabrina and Jenna attend their ex-boyfriend's funeral. So maybe all three agreed that it's time to put this drama to bed? Leaning into the homewrecker angle for the second time was probably one of the most super cool things Sabrina has ever done. She looked insanely good while humbling Shawn and Camila on stage. Whatever went down, nobody can tell me this wasn't an iconic moment. Camila knew she was gonna have to bring that heat after finding out both Shawn and Sabrina were performing, and she brought a whole fire. She opened her performance with her song June Gloom, rumored to be about her and Shawn's reconciliation, but then quickly switched up the tempo with Godspeed, which is all about leaving the past behind. Love that for you, girly. This is probably the most chaotic moment from the whole VMAs, but in Camilla's performance, she literally smashed up a laptop on stage. Now, people were quick to speculate why she would put such a random thing in her performance, but one theory really stuck out. So you might think nothing of this, but I personally remember a very famous laptop that was featured in the midst of all the love triangle drama. Need I say more? With the least amount of love out of the trio, no surprise, Shawn performed a new song from his upcoming self-titled album, and it sounded like the song was about Camilla, with the lyrics reading, "When you're so in love and your souls touch, but it's still not enough, where does it go?" Okay, they were lyrics, I wasn't really wowed, but it sounds like his new music's gonna be a tell-all into this whole love triangle drama from his perspective. One we haven't heard yet. Am I excited? Not really. Ariana Grande has a lot on her plate at the moment. After releasing her smash 7th studio album, Eternal Sunshine, this past spring, the pop superstar has been entirely in Wicked mode, doing serious promo for the highly anticipated film adaptation of the Broadway musical, and wearing a lot of gorgeous Galinda-coded looks in the process. And with all this going on, it looks like she decided to skip out on the awards. And this was a shock to fans, seeing as she was one of the most nominated artists of the night. She had 7 noms! And despite tying with Megan Thee Stallion and Sabrina Carpenter as the 4th most nominated artist of the night, she was nowhere to be seen once Showtime rolled around. She seemed to actually hint at her absence a couple of hours before the show began, when she shared a clip from her "We Can't Be Friends" video to her Instagram story, writing, "I just want to say thank you and I love you so much to my Angel fans who've been writing so hard for We Can't Be Friends. You're my heart, this will always be my favorite video and the one I am proudest of, no matter what. I am so proud of us and grateful for you, Chris the director, and for our teams who brought this vision and story to life with us." Now, the rumor mill claims Ariana skipped out because she knew she wasn't going to win any of the awards she was nominated for. And once again, I question, how rigged is this award show? Seriously. Chappell Roan went viral within minutes of arriving at the VMAs last night, after footage came out of her shouting back at a photographer and telling him to shut the F up. Now, this video is the most talked about moment of the night, with everyone wondering what caused Chappell to shout back at the VMAs photographer. And thankfully, she was actually given an explanation, because it wasn't really clear what went down at first. So the original video shows Chappell Roan posing on the VMAs red carpet before whipping around and arguing with the photographer, shouting, "You shut the F up." Then she says, "No, not me, bish." But what actually went down? Well, she explained further in an interview what led to the disagreement. So she was talking to ET and she's like, "I was really scared going for the photographers." She said, "This is quite overwhelming and quite scary. I think for someone who gets a lot of anxiety around people yelling at you, the carpet is horrifying. I yelled back. You don't get to yell at me like that." So she's referring to the process, right? When you get to the red carpet, you have to stand in front of all the press cameras and they should all shout your name for photos. And yeah, she rightfully so. By the way, Chappell performed her smash hit Good Luck Babe last night, and she gave this insane performance inspired by Joan of Arc, as well as taking home the coveted Moon Man for Best New Artist. So considering nobody can stop speaking about her, and her music is next level, look, I think this is all deserved. Well, that's all folks, see ya!